Silence. What do you do when God is silent? Or at the very least, he feels silent. This, of course, would have been what the disciples were feeling, the women were feeling, Nicodemus was feeling, Joseph of Arimathea were feeling after they'd buried Jesus in the grave. Silence. Now, you and I know how the story ends. We watched the movie Case for Christ last night as a congregation, and I think the facts of the resurrection speak for themselves, but they didn't know that yet. You and I know that, and yet we experience silence. God, where are you? Sometimes I think in our times of disappointment and sadness, learning to walk with God in those moments of silence, the most important lessons that we can learn. This I want us to remember in Romans chapter 8. Can anything ever separate us from the love of God? No. The tomb is empty. Jesus is alive, so we're not even separated from the living Jesus. I'm convinced that nothing can ever separate us from God's love. That's in verse 38 in Romans 8. If you're going through a time of silence right now, just know that you're not being separated from God's love. Jesus came out of the grave. A lot of us have things that we're waiting on. There's silence, but nothing to separate us from God's love right now. Just remember that. We can trust God in the silence. The empty tomb, the living Jesus, proves that to us. So if you're walking through a moment, a time, a season of silence, as I said last week, if you can't find God's hand, trust his heart. He came out of the grave. He came out of the grave for you. He's living for you today. We have a living hope.